I didn't have a good keys and piano synth, so I'm glad I tried this one out, because even though the synth is called lo-fi keys, it really works for any genre, but of course it works best for lo-fi because of some of the settings which I'll dive into. So I made this lo-fi sounding project, and I'm going to break down the plugin in this video. Download the VST plugin in the link in the description below. Make sure to subscribe. Let's get started. The piano, bass, and the pad you're hearing in the track are presets from lo-fi keys. Take a listen to the first one. Using this X bass bass face preset as the low end. This is a random preset I chose by clicking on the surprise button here. It sounds like this. Working as like this background sort of pad melodic element. And last I have the piano, which is this really nice lo-fi sounding piano, and it's called Keys Lo-Fi Dreamin'. Bunch of chords here. Of course, it does sound very lo-fi, but you can use this for other genres as well, such as organic house, deep house, or a wide variety of genres. It doesn't even have to be a deeper sounding genre. What gives these lo-fi sounds their really lo-fi sound, a big part of that lo-fi is this vinyl sound right here. So this is adding that vinyl distortion. As well as this saturator here, which I'll get into later. By adjusting these two settings, you can use this in a much more versatile way, not just pertaining to lo-fi. I'm going to test out some more sounds now in a new channel. And keep in mind, at any time, if you want to download this plugin, just click the link in the description below. And if you want the project files, you can also download that in the link in the description below. So let's search lo-fi keys and drag that onto a new channel. And I'm going to copy the MIDI information from the piano, and I'm going to test out some new presets here. The Classic Studio. More of like a bright piano. Ooh. Super like trippy kind of keys. We'll do one more. And lo-fi keys doesn't just offer piano and key sounds, it also offers things like pads. As well as some synths. As well as some bass sounds. Sound great as chords, but you get the idea. Going back to the original 3 layers I was using, I'm going to talk about some of the settings as well. Of course, I can use the presets. I can also use the surprise button. Pirani Sound said this is the beta version of the synth, and there will be more presets coming. But right now, let's just go over some of the settings. 2 generators here, plus the vinyl distortion. So you can choose kind of like the different oscillator or the different generator inside of your 2 sound generators here, as well as from vinyl distortion, you can change this to VHS or cassette. We have the low, some high end, some fine tuning, and then I have the octave. Vinyl distortion, so essentially this just emulates what it sounds like when you're playing this on a vinyl, which gives that very, very specific lo-fi or old school feel. Then you have some modulators, which are really cool. So the tremolo gives this kind of wafting effect. And then the wow factor makes it kind of detuned, bigger sounding. Really nice. Then you have your basic shape settings, your attack, decay, sustain, and release. Pretty self-explanatory. And then I have 3 effects here. And what's great about this is that they actually give you one of my favorite synths in like a mini version. So the polyspace, if you haven't seen, I've covered that in a different video. You can check that in the link right up in the corner, wherever that corner might be. It's a really nice reverb, and they've given us a smaller version of that in the lo-fi keys as well, which is great. First, I have this vapor dimension, which is going to make it feel like a bigger space or bigger sound, just adding more, well, dimension. Different presets here. I'm just gonna open up the one sound so we can just focus on that. That's pretty cool. Let's try a different sound here. So let's grab one of these. Let's grab the Orion here, and I'll just push that modulation up slowly. All the way up. It gives it that kind of wafty, kind of chorusy sound, which just makes the dimension feel bigger and maybe a little bit of detune. It's a cool effect that just kind of makes it feel more loose. Then I have this saturation plugin called Technicolor. Again, giving us that old school vibe, more analog warmth vibe with the saturation. You can make it sound like it's coming through on the radio, maybe some glue compression, some saturation, and some tape saturation. Let's go to the tape and turn that up. Obviously pretty aggressive. So let's go down to heat. It just gives it a bit of that analog warmth. Bass maker. Gives it some warm saturation on the low end. And we'll go to radio again. Very cool. It makes it sound like it's coming out of an old, one of those old school radios. And last we have the polyspace. Again, great reverb plugin. They give you a bunch of presets here. The L is for large, M for medium, and S for small. Let's do a large reverb here. You can especially hear it as I pause the sound because it's just like a light layer of reverb kind of on the tail end. It's pretty quiet. Maybe I could turn the output up a little bit. Just gives it a nice little glued layer of reverb at the end of the sound, just kind of tying it all together and making it feel a bit more full. Last, we have the keyboard down here. The sound, the random controls, you can choose the sound, dimension, Technicolor, and polyspace. So you can just choose basically random presets for all these effects and the sound itself. Very cool. So you can make a ton of stuff just by guessing through here. And last, I have the effects dry wet. So you have one for the vapor dimension, the Technicolor, then the polyspace synth. It's very easy to use, especially with the random functions. Generates a lot of really nice sounds. If you want to download lo-fi keys, click in the link in the description below. If you want to download this project to use for yourself, you can click the other link in the description below. I'll see you in the next video.